Hi everybody! Today is going to be a tip on how to clean your dog's teeth. I already did one about cats, and so today we're going to be doing Taya's teeth because it's time for her to get her teeth cleaned, and you'll see exactly what I mean from the last video on the difference between wet dog food versus dry dog food, or wet cat food versus dry cat food, which Lily ended up eating and continues to eat dry cat food, so her teeth usually stay pretty clean. Taya, however, eats wet dog food because she refuses to eat dry, and wet's better for them anyways. So she already knows what's going to be happening, and this isn't obviously the first time that I've cleaned her teeth. I do it quite often actually. And it's only been about, I'd say, about a month or so since the last time I cleaned them. So you'll see what I mean when it comes to plaque. And yeah, we're gonna start. With small dogs, normally they end up putting them under anesthesia. But I find that if you just use dental tools, a dog is a lot more likely to just kind of chillax. Alright, we're back. I had to get a piece of toilet paper because I forgot. Because I needed to get the plaque off this, and I don't really want it going back into her mouth. So that's not really good for them, just like a cat. And you just take it and put on a piece of toilet paper and just continue going. Some dogs, however, if you're doing it for the first time, will probably freak out, in which case I'd probably suggest putting them into a smaller blanket. Unless it's a big dog, then not entirely sure what to do on that, because I've never really dealt with a big dog. Though in the future I probably will, when I actually start getting known with my neighbors and stuff. So for now it's kind of left as an unknown. And I'll just chip right off. I would not suggest doing quarters or dimes or other things that can be used, just for the fact that I've noticed that both dogs and cats completely freak out when you stick them in the mouth. Might just be the taste, it might be the texture. I still prefer human dental tools. And I'll just chip right off. And then you can see how this is. It's really gross to look at. And if you actually do keep up on your dog's teeth, you'll notice a great improvement in their breath. You wouldn't think that plaque on teeth would affect their breath, but it really, really does. That's how I know whenever Taya needs to get her teeth done, is when her breath actually starts getting bad. You can kind of hear it come off as I chip it off. You can see how white her teeth are becoming. And they'll just come right off. Just like that. It's really gross and yet extremely necessary to do. And I just find this a lot more soothing than trying to put your dog under anesthesia from a vet. And then we'll turn her over a little bit here. I always enjoy doing the top first, and then moving on to the back after I've done the front. Because the back actually does take the longest, but they don't particularly enjoy having the fronts being done first, which is why I do it first. Because they don't really like having their nose be pushed up against. Because when you lift their lip, it kind of bumps their nose a little bit. And obviously the more you do this with your dog, the more comfortable they will end up getting. Because they know it's you. Just be careful around edges and stuff. Well, that's pretty much all you have to do. It's pretty much the same as a cat, just you do have more teeth that you need to scrape off, and it does take a little bit longer because of all the bigger teeth. Just make sure you don't poke out their eyes if for some reason they're struggling. Which, of course, if they're struggling that bad, it'd probably be best to just stick them in a towel. And when you hear the plaque coming off, don't really worry too much, because it doesn't hurt them at all. They just don't like the little tugs. And I'm going to come back when I'm working on the back teeth, otherwise this is going to be a really long video. So we'll be right back. Alright, now we're back. We're working on the back teeth. Now these are going to be pretty hard to do when it comes to getting them to stand still, kind of, because you kind of have to pull their cheeks back. They'll just, like I said, just pop off, just like the front. All the other teeth are done, which I'll show you all those here when I'm finished. And then at the end, I'll show you the toilet paper, which is used that has all the plaque on it to show you just how much plaque just 1 month will have. And that's just the plaque that I could get on there sometimes. It just happens to go on the cheeks and other things like that. Which is not quite what I want, but you know, it does happen. Your animal, whether it is dog or cat, more so dog than cat, will find out either an easy way or a hard way that if they move a lot, it takes a lot longer. Unless, of course, your animal isn't very bright, but most animals are brighter than they appear. And they'll find out that the more they wiggle and stuff, the more that it can possibly hurt them. Which, unlike a cat, you normally don't have to go this far, because it's mainly the front teeth that really take the beating. Well, as a dog on wet food especially, you have to get all their teeth. Not just the front part of them either. But you also have to get not just the back either, but also the inside, which normally those don't actually need to be done as often. Okay. Which hers actually don't really need to be done, because they're still pretty clean. But it's always best to check back there, because if you haven't done it in a while, it can cause issues. Icky plaque. But at least you never have to worry about the vet telling you that your dog or cat has dirty teeth. And like I said, it seriously helps their breath. So you know those times when you go, oh my gosh, they have bad breath, and you give them a dog treat? This actually does take away that problem. And as you can see with Taya versus Lily, she is a lot more trained. Not saying that you can't train your cat, but it is harder. But like I said, you also have a lot less teeth to clean, so it doesn't entirely matter. And hey, I'm not finished with you. I'm almost finished with you. Come on. I know. Oh. Not much plaque on this side, which is always good for her. Though I have to say, cleaning any animal's teeth, cat or dog, it always helps when you have a good source of light. This isn't the best light I've had, but the other lamp is in process of being used by someone else. So I'm making do with what I have. Look at that one little piece there. There. Now her teeth are done. And once you brush their teeth again, oh, actually there's a little bit more right here. But once you brush their teeth again, you won't have bad breath for quite a while, which is kind of nice. There. Alright, now Taya's done. And can't really tell until I put it down there, but all that icky stuff just from a small dog, that is all plaque, which is a lot of plaque for a small dog after only a month. So it's always good to keep your dog or cat, if they're on wet food, to continuously clean them every month or two. And if they're on dry food, like I said, every 6 weeks. So that's the end of this week's video. Next week's video is going to be quite interesting, I'm sure. Alright, bye!